Hello, today I will be reviewing the Tales of series. Well, three of the Tales of games that I've played. So technically, yes, this is a 3-in-1 review. Um, Before I get started on each game individually, I will say that the Tales series is an RTS RPG type, meaning that when your characters are in combat, it's real time. It's not um, you take turns or anything like that. So if you're a fan of those type of games, definitely pick up the Tales of series. Um, they it's You can have up to on all three of the games I've played. You can have up to 4 characters in your team at, in your battle party at one time. Um, Although, as you go through the game, there is a total of 8 to 10 characters that your party, your main all round party, um, picks up throughout the story. Um, each game starts off with your main character, and has a female healer type of second character who in these three games have ended up um, getting taken out of the party at one point or another due to some reason. Um, they're usually the character that drives the game, kind of. Well, that starts the whole adventure process. Um, each game, all the games are similar in battle system, in gameplay mode, and that you're basically going from point A to point B on a map, an open map, by the way, on an open map, and you encounter monsters, or, well, you encounter enemies that throws you into a um, battle mode, I guess, which is basically just an open field with your team, well, 1 to 4 member team, and your and the enemies, which can range up to 8, maybe. Um, One of my favorite features in the Tales of series is the auto feature, which allows which allows you to not actually have to play the game. So if Which is really helpful in terms of leveling up. So, like, basically you can turn all the characters on auto, including your main character, and go do something else. You want to play another game while you're leveling up? You can play another game while you're leveling up. You want to watch something while you're leveling up? You can watch something while you're leveling up. All you have to do is make sure that you catch the ending of the battle, um, as well as if they need assistance. I've had gameplays where I was not watching it, and they all died. My whole team died. Um, or and as well as you have to also put them into battle. But other than that, if they're other than that, you can, if you're focused on staying in one area and leveling up, like with me, I level up my characters 5 times. Uh, I try to level up my characters 5 levels before I move on with the game. Um, usually that keeps going until I get bored. But the point is that I don't have to play the character and have them level up. I can just put it on auto and let them battle and level up on their own. So uh, that's pretty much it for that. Oh, each of the 3 games have had a anime video, I guess you can say. 2 of which have had like an anime retelling of the stories, which are Tales of Symphonia and Tales of the Abyss. And then Tales of Vesperia had a prequel. I'll get into all of that later. So now let's begin the review. First is Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia was the first game that I've played. Not the first game, but the first Tales of game that I played. There's a lot of negative for it on my end, but there are a lot of good reviews by other people. With me, I didn't really care for it. I did not care for the story, most of the characters, and the opening theme, as well as the ending. The story is basically... Oh, okay, so before we get into the story, my likes is only one thing. Honestly, only one thing. The character Sheena is played by Jennifer Hale. You may know her as Femshep in Mass Effect. She's also played in a number of other games that I can't think of right now. Just look up Jennifer Hale. You've probably heard her voice in movies, TV shows, cartoons, video games, etc. Really talented. Yeah. Anyway, so this series, the story is about how in this story there are 2 worlds that share the same energy, or the same energy flow, and you have these chosen people who must go on these little journeys and change the flow of the energy from one world to the other. Of course, both characters, both worlds are completely oblivious about each other. Mostly oblivious about each other. Basically, once the flow travels to one road, the other road starts to die, literally. Like more monsters end up showing up, stuff like that. The character Sheena is an assassin from one. So basically, the game, it follows this one character, actually him, who's protecting her, and she's the chosen for the main world, and so she's trying to do the rituals and all that to have the energy flow on their side. To reverse the energy flow and renew the world, so to speak. And Sheena is basically an assassin trying to stop it from happening. Turns out she's from the other world, which you then go into the other world, blah blah blah. One of the things I didn't care for about this game was that there were no anime cutscenes, which I was told there would be. Um, the main thing I didn't care for, aside from the anime cutscenes, was that the opening video, the music was off. It was not a um, it was not a it was a completely different music piece. It was a completely original music score for the US version. Yes, they did that. Um, so that's another thing I didn't care for. The Japanese opening theme is a lot better. It's by the band uh, Day After Tomorrow or something like that. I forgot. You can look it up. Um, and I love the songs they play for the game series. This series has an anime um, that retells the story. I didn't really care for that. Um, I didn't care for the anime because it altered the story, obviously. And after a few episodes, I was just like, I don't care. Um, but um, yeah. So what else? Oh, the characters I didn't really care for. Um, the main character was a bit selfless, but yet also a bit naive, kind of. I didn't really care for some of the characters. What else was there? The ending really left me unsatisfied with this series, and seriously, by the end of this game, I was done with the Tales series. I was like, I'm not playing this series again. Um, which was actually probably a mistake. Which brings me to my next. So, this game I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. Uh, Not 2 out of 5, 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, either way. Um, I I did think about giving it a 3, but there's only one thing I actually liked about this game series. So, with that being said, let's move on to the second. My second game, my second Tales game to review is Tales of the Abyss. This game came out for the PS2. Oh, Tales of Symphonia actually did really good to where it had a sequel. I did not play the sequel. Anyway, Tales of the Abyss is a fun game. It had, unlike Tales of Symphonia, it does have anime cutscenes. It does the music in the opening is instrumental version to the original song. To the original opening song. You can look up all the songs on YouTube. I've done it 100 times. Um, Exaggeration. Uh, One of the best things I like about this game, other than the cutscenes and the opening theme being instrumental, is that one of the characters is voiced by Johnny on Bosch. You may know him as Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach, Vashti Stampede from Trigun, uh, Adam the Black Ranger from the second season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, etc., etc., etc. He plays the character known as Guy, which is right there, way in the back, right there. So he's a pretty fun character. Um, has a he has a little phobia around women, which I will admit I kind of developed at one point. Anyway, um, so this game series is basically about our hero character named Luke. Yes, yes, yes. I did every time I heard the game say Luke, I could not help but say, I am your father. Anyone who's a nerd, geek, or Star Wars fan will know what that means. um, I mean, really, in the game, there's times they actually go, Luke. And it's like, when you hear it like that, I mean, really, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? So this game series is pretty fun. It's, it doesn't, the story revolves around music, and you may not think that's kind of interesting. It's a little. Don't worry, there's no DDR, rock band, whatever type of thing where you have to push the right button at the right time and to get the right sequence and stuff like that. No, there's none of that, so don't worry. It's just the story. The story just features is around music type, well, magic that revolves around music. Um, it's a fun story. It's basically, it does have a type of two roads type of thing, except that in this, the main road is risen. It's basically everything is off the plates of the world, of the planet, and it's sort of like, how to put it, like Gotham City. Basically, the bottom, the lower part is like this really uninhabitable uninhabitable area, and the top part is where everyone lives, with no problems a big until a bad problem comes up. So yeah, this game series is fun. This is one game series that I not series. This is one game that I've actually started playing over again. Unlike Tales of Symphonia, which I did not, I have no intention of playing over again. I might keep it, actually, since I can't trade in GameCube games anymore. I guess I have to keep it. But I do not intend to play it over again. I don't care for it. Anyway, but Tales of the Abyss is a fun game. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I'm playing it over again. Um, so that's it with that one. Last but not least is Tales of the Abyss. I give a 5 out of 5. It's fun. Oh, the 3DS version does not have multiplayer option. Um, you basically it's for a handheld. That's why. So you can't have three other friends join in and all that. So that's Tales of the Abyss for you. 5 out of 5. Play it. Fun game. Um, my last but not least is Tales of Vesperia. Oh, Tales of the Abyss also has a bunch of animes that were released into English, which had an English U.S. release. Although the animes only came out subtitled, they didn't reunite the cast and to dub the anime series. All they did was subtitle it and release it. Unfortunately for me, I got into the series late and did not get the anime series. Now you'll be lucky to find it. Um, well, so that's Tales of the Abyss. 505. Get the game. Fun game. Next is Tales of Vesperia. Tales of Vesperia is a fun, nice game. The main thing I like about this game is that the opening theme is in English for the US release. The Japanese, and yes, it's also by the same artist, the same artist as the Japanese release. So you don't have two different people singing the same song. It's same person singing the song, which is Bonnie Pink. Nice song, nice game. There is no love interest story thing going on here, which I love, which I like about the game because I can relate to it a bit more. Anyway, enough about my life. The game is fun. It's basically about two friends and they sort of have this rivalry, I guess. The movie takes place before the game. Is a prequel. Takes place before the game. Out of the three, this is the first one that this is the first Tales game I've seen that had a prequel instead of a redo of the whole story. The story is, it's about two friends, and they one's in the military still, one's not, and they see things very differently. The one that's out of the military, which is our main character, he ends up creating a guild and is willing to do whatever it takes to right wrongs, whereas the one in the military is like, there's a procedure for everything. In fact, that was the whole reason our hero character ends up getting out, because it's like, he didn't agree to the way things were going. So this game has cutscenes. I played the 360 version before getting the Japanese PS3 version. So even though I don't understand Japanese, I do know what's happening in the game, kind of. Only kind of, because the PS3 version does feature a new character. So I'm not really able to understand all of it, obviously, but at least I know what's going on. Yeah. So 5 out of 5. As I said, the Tales series is a long game series. Especially if you're basically, when you think it's coming to the end, when it's up to when they get up to that boss that's like, oh, this is the person we were trying to find, and you beat him, it's not over yet. Just remember that. I recommend playing, if you're new to the Tales series and you want a long game and you want to try out the Tales series, I recommend playing Tales of Vesperia as well as Tales of the Abyss. Not Tales of Symphonia, if you can find it still. These two games are actually really good and worth picking up, worth checking out. the anime movie is enjoyable. It's fun. A few characters in the game do show up in the anime, and the cool thing is they do not interact with each other. They so their first meeting in the games are not contradictory to the movie. In the movie, they're interacting with characters that are not in the game. Yeah, so that's my Tales review. Hope you guys liked it. I probably left some things out, but that's that. Alright, thank you.